But what advice would you give somebody that wanted to start out in the wrestling business today?
You know what? I'm going to give the same advice to them that I'll give to anybody who's here at this university. During the afterword of my book, Countdown to Lockdown.
There's a plug.
There's a cheap plug.
Yeah.
I do say that if I have one real bit of wisdom to share, it's to not let anybody else define for you what being a success is. That's something we get to do for ourselves, whether it's as professional wrestlers or as college graduates or as senators or congressmen or anything. You know, we get to decide what being a success is.
Well, Zippy works for a wrestling company, 304 Wrestling, which, by the way, October 31st, Gorefest 2010. There's another plug for you, Mick.
Gorefest?
Like
That's an even cheaper plug.
That's an even cheaper plug.
Does Al know about this shameless ripping off of his name?
Talk to him.
I'd rather not comment on that.
Yeah, Zippy's going to be quiet
I
for
do
the
a
rest
little
of
bit of research before I comment on that one.
Really? Okay.
But do you
Good
think,
point, though.
Do you think there's more local, regional type of wrestling organizations now than there was when you started,
No,
or about the same?
You know what? There's far fewer,
Right.
and when I say regional, I mean places where guys can make a living. At one point, there were up to 27 to 30 regional places where wrestlers could ply their trade and make a decent living, not a great living. Of course, the guys on the top of the card did better than the guys in the middle or the bottom. But now we're down to two national companies, TNA and WWE, and then what we call independent or outlaw federations. And those places are great for getting experience, but not so great for making a living. I broke in Western Pennsylvania, so most of our shows were either in West Virginia or Ohio because there was no athletic commission. So my first show was in Clarksburg, West Virginia. I also wrestled in Polka, home of the dreaded polka dots.
Watch out for him. There's another plug.
Man, you get on a football field and you're facing the polka dots,
yeah,
brother.
You might as well change your shorts now, right?
Yeah, I think it's more difficult and more frustrating for younger wrestlers because there's just the possibilities of making it are so limited.
So who did you enjoy working for the most? What organization?
You mean the one I used to work for, the one who currently pays me?
Your check right now, yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
Because
why put me in that type of situation?
Well, I'm making you sweat.
Yeah.
What's it? I told you to turn his mic off. I don't know if it's off or not.
You know what? I am very loyal to the people who sign my checks.
Very good.
I really enjoyed working for WWE. And the truth is, I even say this in the afterword, that if it wasn't for the opportunities provided me by Jim Ross, who went out of his way to endorse me, and then Vince McMahon, who highlighted me despite my non-traditional looks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to TNA or to write about anything. So I owe so much to those guys. And then TNA has given me that second chance, to make a difference. So I love both of them equally.
And I heard you do a pretty mean Vince McMahon impression.
A pretty mean one?
Yeah, can we see this here?
I don't think I want to do my impression for you.
He's scaring me.
That's right on.
When I'll give you this. You pretend to be me, okay?
Okay,
and
God.
Vince had not been buzzed that my name was Mick. He knew my full name was Michael.
Yep.
Did not realize nobody ever called me Mike. When I got into his office, thinking I'm, going to be up on this, plateau here, he's like, "We want to do what's best for Mike. What does Mike want to accomplish here?"
And you're looking around going, "Where's Mike?"
And then the original name for me was the Mutilator. And he said, "Now in this business, we've had crushers, we've had destroyers, we've had executioners, but we've never had a mutilator."
Oh,
there you
goodness.
go. All right.
Not bad.
And you know what? Tonight at the bookstore, I'm going to do a little Rocky Balboa. There's a story that I've been doing. This is a talk, right? Discussion, Q&A. It's not just the standard wrestler sits down and writes his name. So I'd make every discussion different, but this is kind of like my go-to. I've learned now this is my 14th out of 15 dates on the U.S. leg of the Countdown Tour, and people do enjoy the Rocky Balboa story.
Well, one more thing real quick, we run out of time, but you were on Saturday Night Live. What was that like? I bet that was amazing. Compare it to this if you want to.
Yes.
Do what you want to do.
Compared to this?
Yeah.
I don't remember much about it.
Really?
Except staring at Sherry O'Terry intently.
And her security guard right behind her, right?
No,
Standing
anyway,
right
we
next to you.
all had a great time, and one of my favorite memories was watching the sheer love of performing that AC/DC had, and the fact that they were playing 2 songs on the show and did an extra 5 just for the the people on
Really?
set during the rehearsal. So. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was the Rock showcase.
Right.
We were just kind of like stray dogs picking scraps off the Rock's
But it was
plate.
fun.
But
It was good.
if it meant hearing 6 AC/DC tunes and staring at Sherry O'Terry, I'd say it was an experience worth having.
You do it again, wouldn't you?
In a second, yeah.
Nick, thank you for coming
All
on
right,
the show.
all
We
right. Hey,
appreciate it.
hey,
Mick Foley, everyone. We'll be right back.